Thank you for staying with us. And now we're going to speak to you about the preparation for Christmas as we Christians have to observe, not just formally but really spiritually, how we should dispose ourselves for the celebration, because we fight against the flow of the world, the secular world that tends to make it worldly, make it different in meaning. So we want to go back to the right meaning by faith in this year of faith. We want to show that this acts of efforts and sacrifices in preparing ourselves for Christmas are indeed very important, because if we don't do this, Christmas would mean just like a simple celebration. Like many of today, they would think of Santa Claus as just a figure of giving gifts and
giving,
just
yes,
receiving
Father.
one way.
And whereas in America, Father, I think Santa Claus is the main character of Christmas.
Character for Christmas, and also the Christmas tree.
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Although the Christmas tree has an origin that is Christian also, by our separated brothers.
Yes, Father.
They use that because it's a tree, of course. The Lord was also hand on the tree, and the tree signifies something like that. So there was the green leaves because of hope and all this, and
yes.
life, and then there is also the Christian point in that. But as you observe, Sister Steph,
Yes, I've observed that, I'm always hearing this, that Belen is better than the Christmas tree,
that's it,
Father.
Of
Yes.
course, that's very very Catholic. That Saint Francis of Assisi was the one who started
I
to
see.
introduce to the Christian world, so that we can really meditate. So the purpose of having Belen in our homes is exactly to contemplate, to meditate on the scene of the birth of our Lord. That's ignites us, the one you said, the humility and the love of our Lord. That even though He is the King of Kings, the owner of everything, all things were made by Him, through Him, and for Him, and they subsist in Him, and now He's just
Born in the manger.
Born in the manger, and He could be born in the best palaces and hospitals in His time.
Yes.
First class accommodation, for the Lord.
Yes, Father, how about the Advent wreath? What comes before the Belen, right? Or it goes
Yes,
together?
in the liturgy. That is in that. Now these are the practical things that we can really, signs and symbols we can use for the Christmas preparation. And we're going to discuss this in the last segment, so that we can put instructions on how the people would go about in the preparation for Christmas in a concrete way. Now we're speaking about the spirituality of us Catholics, how we can deepen the preparation at the same time the celebration of Christmas by these cultural and even maybe say common signs and figures for Christmas, like Santa Claus, and we have the Christmas tree that lots of people are so enamored to see and to put many decorations and make it bonga because it's our Christmas tree, something like that. But where's the meaning? Where's the implication for our Christian living? Is it really making us better Christians as we are making the Christmas tree?
And what's the value behind it, or the virtue, Father, behind it?
Well, as we gather the resources for that, there's cooperation from the family. Maybe others would do that.
And the patience also.
Patience, yes. And the symbol itself, because according to the Pope, the science
has power.
Yes, have power. So if we use these signs, because we believe that there is really goodness in this, because Christ came in order to show Himself to us, the Spirit becoming an icon of the Father, so incarnated like us. So this is the point. So the spirituality goes there. So as we celebrate Christmas, brothers and sisters, we must understand that it is the Lord who started to make representations, and therefore having statues, images of our Lord Himself, of Our Lady, and all the saints, the angels even, it's not bad, because it is God's manner of doing. He wants us to use representations and bless it, so that they will not be representations only, but they become access of blessings and grace. Therefore, it is a kind of a parcel from heaven. That
As
is
what
put
Saint
in
John,
Chrysostom, Damascene, Saint John Damascene said that there is power that will come out of the sacramentals, not only representations, but not only reminders, but really instruments for graces. So, like the miraculous medal that we have just celebrated last November 27th. So we celebrated that because we believe Our Lady said that they who use the medal will receive many graces. And when you have confidence, abundant graces you will receive. So we believe in that. In the church, as Christians, as Catholics, we believe in these sacramentals because, again, it's a kind of parcel from heaven, like a relic, that is being used in order to receive graces and to really be encouraged to enjoy the protection of the saints, their presence that is divine. Also, these sacramentals give the same, because they come from the blessing of the Lord Himself through the church, and He is heavenly, He is glorious. So these things are indeed instruments of grace. That's why the Belen is very good. In fact, the Belen has a blessing, and many people don't know that it can be blessed in our homes. It's a very
is
good
there a need
value.
of enthronement of Belen, Father? Or
No, blessing.
Blessing lang.
There is a blessing. So, and then the novena, we can make a novena. And I even encourage, we don't really do this, but encourage that we pause, even individually in the family or as a group, especially on Christmas Eve, to look at our Lord in the stable, lying on a manger, there in silence. And maybe we can even sing the Silent Night, the All Holy Night, and then make some pause and then reflect. I think after praying a rosary or before we pray the rosary on the Christmas Eve, that's what we pray to. But that is encouragement for us to all the more deepen our spirituality in touch with the mysteries, not just presenting the mysteries and without being involved affectively.
Yes, Father.
This should be the cordial participation of the mysteries.
And then also sa family, Father, during sa kanang Christmas sa midnight gani, we pray the Angelus ba to really commemorate ba that the Word was made flesh.
That's very nice.
Yeah, so
in fact, the Holy Father wants us to pray the Angelus sunrise, noonday, and then sunset. So that we can really be reminded of this mystery of the incarnation, of the Lord becoming like us, and especially on that eve, that's very nice also. And the rosary as well,
yes,
joyful mysteries,
the joyful mysteries,
joyful mysteries. And we can sing hymns in there. The Lord, we offer some hymns, and in a tone of silence, not with all the firecrackers and that will distract us. And then after that, we can now have our Notre-Dame, which is very delightful after the blessing, after the it's a very nice observance. I believe that could really help a lot.
And that could influence good influence for the children.
The youth, yes. Exactly.
For the whole family.
The whole family.
Yes.
Especially when the father leads the prayer and then the mother comes up with the petitions and then the children would lead one mystery and the other. They're fine, right?
Yes.
So even the helpers can even participate.
Yes.
It's very nice. I really know this is what we really need, to unite ourselves humbly before the Lord, adoring the mystery because the Lord is there.
Yes,
I think this is it. The loving the mysteries of our salvation, making it a part of our life, not just separate from us. Not just a decoration, not just a representation, but an involvement, a proof of being a participant of that grace. Apil kita ba? Nakakita niya ba?
Yes.
In fact, St. Francis in his contemplation, he changed his voice like a lamb. Yeah, something like that, like a sheep, because
So,
he was so involved. Yeah, he was so
Okay.
immersed in that contemplation
really, Father,
that he thought he's there a witness as one of those
Lambs.
yeah, sheep there,
Sheep.
and animals there. And I also did that something like, oh, how I wish I could be the hay that the Lord had laid, no, on the manger, no. How I wish I could be one of the hay there, no.
Yes.
And therefore, by the glory and the grace of the Lord, His truth would penetrate me. Oh, what's a blessing! I could be a relic. Something like that is very nice to meditate and contemplate, because nothing is impossible with the Lord. The reason why the saints became saints, because they just simply get close to the Lord and believe in Him and let themselves be utilized with the purpose that the Lord wants us to use exactly by His wisdom and His grace. I think love as well. So the Butchers of Love here is, Butchers Amoris here is speaking about the love of the Lord manifested in His incarnation, so deep, from so high, a God, a Spirit, unlimited, infinite, marvelous, almighty, now becoming like us, limited, and seemingly not doing anything to help the people, because it's just like us, working like us, living like us, eating like us, and doing his chores and being formed by by parents, and then so normally included in the census. Not just, that's why it's interesting, that God so great, by His love for us, became little like us. I think this is the spirituality, the condescension, the humility of Christ, as Saint Paul was speaking about, is Him, that although of man, Jesus did not deem equality with God something to be grasped up. Rather, He emptied Himself and took the form of a slave, being born into the likeness of man. Very nice. Very nice, Sister
Yes,
Steph.
very
we
nice,
have it in
Father.
our, we have that in the Christian prayer, the liturgy of the hours. And so always it's repeated in there. So one of these altars. So we can really realize that this mystery of incarnation is indeed a great help for us, an initial help, how to humble oneself, how to love poverty, because poverty is not a bad sort of situation. It's not a bad situation. If we only understand what poverty really is, well, poverty means you have what you need, the necessary things in your life. No.
Nothing less, nothing more.
Yeah, because more is that is superfluous, that is already luxurious sometimes.
Then less is
wants as we term it, it's no longer the needs but also the wants that we want to really achieve in life. But loving poverty is indeed a great virtue, because as we love poverty, we are limited in our kind of caprice and all this.
We need a lot of inspiration also, Father, because when you say poverty, there are a lot of the world
negative,
the world has given a different side of it.
Exactly.
We need to be inspired, and I think the Belen is a very good inspiration,
Exactly.
Father.
Sister Steph. Because as what you have told us, that His humility there, and then His choice to be born there. Actually, it's really God who sent our Lord there to be born in that manger, because the message is, all these things that man are afraid of are not really threat for us. We're threatened by poverty. We're threatened with misery. Of course, misery is not from the Lord, but poverty,
hardships
it's okay.
and sufferings.
Yeah, hardships and rejection, as the Lord was rejected already in the womb of her mother. She was already rejected somehow, by not finding a place in the inn. When maybe if he would be rich, in appearance, Mama Mary and Saint Joseph, probably they would
be accepted, and they would find a good place
corner
for them.
for them. But then, since they are seemingly poor, and in fact they are poor, so they took that situation. I mean, the lifestyle of being poor, because they know God wants them to be simple. God wants them to be ready to do God's will. Because if we are attached to many material things, this is simple wisdom. we cannot easily do the other heroic deeds if we are attached to these material things. We can no longer, because we will be thinking of lots of concerns.
Especially of being comfortable, Father.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
want to always be
That's it.
comfortable.
Convenience, comforts, and all the
It's
sorts
a
of pleasures.
hedonistic
that we-
lifestyle.
Yes, yes.
Hedonistic, yes.
And
hedonistic.
temptation is all around
Materialistic,
us.
yes. Oh, this is it. So Christmas now will be more meaningful, brothers and sisters, if in that tone of love that the Lord wants to show, He really is, showing us, the paradigm of freeing ourselves from these bondages of, selfishness, and then self-gratification, and all this.
And detaching ourselves from everything,
from
Father.
everything.
Yes.
So this is it. Now, brothers and sisters, for the next segment, please stay with us. We will have some reminders.